Welcome to my masterclass. Shortly, I want us to talk on the reason people see work as punishment. You agree with me today that the rate of turnover, workers' turnover, or labor's turnover today in Nigeria is quite high and, alarming. A lot of organizations out there, especially those in private sectors, talking about the SMEs, small and medium scale enterprises, the rate at which they turn over workers monthly is quite alarming. If you walk around the streets or the busy streets of some cities, you see a whole lot of signposts everywhere looking for sales girls, looking for bartenders, looking for pub attendants in filling station, and so many areas, even in farms and all that. A lot of people today, a lot of our young people do not really want to work anymore. And this is, constituting a whole lot of problems, social problems, economic problems to the society, because the youth of a nation, they are the strength of such a nation. Now, the youths are the propeller, that drive economic prosperity for any nation. So by the time the youth of a nation are beginning to develop apathy to work, then it spells so much danger and doom for such a nation. Now, but quickly, I want us to look at the importance of work. Why is work important? Is work a curse or a blessing? Now, if we date our minds back to the Bible, you discover that the first assignment God gave to man when he created man was work. Now, he simply told Abraham, the first man created, which was Adam, to till the garden, as in to take care of the garden, to maintain the garden. That was work. Even at the point he created woman, and that's from his rib, he also placed woman under man, as his helpmeet. And the woman he gave to man was also part of his assignment. That is work. To take care of woman also mean a whole lot when you're talking about work. It's part of work. Now, even the sex many people talk about today, many of our young people, they feel without sex they can't live and all that kind of stuff. To even drive a woman to orgasm requires so much work, to tell you how important work is. So work is an essential part of every human being. Now, not to work is a sin because it's an instruction from God that men should work. Now, if you look at nations that are prospering today, you'll find out that there is work behind them. Now, today, if you go to countries like Germany, they call them the German machine because they believe the second thing after God is work. Now, you cannot associate yourself with anything development or growth without a hard commitment to work. So you've seen it that work is very important, and work is not a curse because it's divinely ordained by God. Now, having said this, let us now look at the reason many of our young people today see work as punishment. Now, number one reason why they see work as punishment is our poor remuneration system or package in Nigeria. Now, you see, one thing that gets me so worried, in this part of the world is that, our capitalist system here, is so worse, is so bad that people see workers as slaves. A lot of our capitalists, they see their workers as slaves, that they'll just throw peanuts at and, anything goes and they expect so much from them. So our remuneration system in Nigeria is so bad. That is one of the reasons why a lot of these people see work as punishment. Now imagine a very good example. A young boy who travels a distance, pays about 200 naira daily as transport or even 300 naira as transport to get to his working place. And the young man works as a bartender. At the end of the month, the young man receives perhaps 15,000 naira. Now, if you cumulate the daily transport this young man pays to get to work, it amounts to about 9,000 naira. Now, if you subtract that from 15,000 naira, what does it earn at the end of the month? Just 6,000. But you see, the problem with many of these young people is that they do not do quantitative analysis. And even the workers, the owners, or the capitalists, that's the owner of business, Many of them do not even understand this quantitative analysis too. How can you employ a young man who spends 9,000 naira to come to work by the end of the month to be paying him 15,000? And perhaps this young man has a kid at home or has a brother to take, he's looking after. Now, he must certainly steal from you. That is the truth. So employing these people, it is not enough for you to just say, okay, I'm fixing this salary for them. Now, if you have a business and you want people to work for you, you are looking for laborers or perhaps employees, some of the criteria that you have to put in place as owner of business is, while determining the salary you are paying a particular person, try and also find out the distance. And it's very important during the interview, for you to find out from these people, employees. Find out from them the distance of their residence to your place of work. And if you look at the distance that, it's quite enormous in terms of expenses, you either look out for workers who are living close to your area, or you find a way to compensate for the expenses the worker spends to get to your place of work. Because if you don't do this, there's certainty that this young man must steal from you. So our remuneration system has to be improved upon, has to be worked upon. It's only in Nigeria you find somebody who spends, for instance, as much as 1 billion naira or 2 billion on an investment and pays manager and tells you the most he can pay his manager is 50,000 naira. Now, perhaps the manager spends like 20,000 naira on transportation alone. How does he take care of his family? Now, that manager, there's degree of certainty that he's going to steal from you. That is the truth. So, our private sector individuals, the capitalists we have in this country, they have to work upon themselves. And sometimes you see that inflation, rate becomes a problem, prices increasing every day. Then sometimes the companies increases the price of their products, but they don't increase salaries of their workers. So the salary remains static. Now you have a worker who is earning a fixed salary, but your own income is increasing. The salary of the worker is not increasing. That is dangerous. So our capitalists, many of them, they are not fair to the populace. They are not fair to the workers. They are not fair to their employees. So we